Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Cook! Don't be lazy! So today I finally get to make something for you that I've been wanting to make for you for quite some time now. But I couldn't find this ingredient local anywhere. So I caved in and bought it online. Russian dressing. Impossible to find locally. I don't know why. I used to be able to find it all the time, but lately I just can't find it. So I finally broke down, bought it online. Cost about $3. Well worth it. We're going to need 3 ingredients. We're going to need Russian dressing, apricot preserves, and onion recipe soup and dip mix. That, along with some chicken quarter legs, or you can use chicken breast, chicken thighs, because that's basically your thigh and your drumstick, but I'm using quarter chicken legs today. Those 4 things, we're going to have a great tasting meal. We're going to preheat the oven we're going to set it at 350. We got to preheat it. That's why it's called preheat. We got to heat it up before we put the chicken in. So let's preheat the oven. Let's mix our ingredients. And let's get to it. So let's mix our ingredients. One packet of this onion mix, some Russian dressing. How much? Eyeball it. You should know better by now. Oops. Some apricot preserves. Again, eyeball it. There's no such thing as a right or wrong mixture, I guess. I'm going to do about a 50-50 Russian mix to apricot preserve. Stir it up. Get it all meshing together. We got to come up with a name for this. When I found the recipe a couple years back online, I forgot what they called it. Baked, I don't know, let's call it baked Russian chicken. Maybe that's what it was called, I don't remember. But, being that the Russian dressing gave me a hard time to find, we're going to call this baked Russian chicken. That's it. Just about done. Get yourself a roasting pan. These come in handy. Reason being, legs. This will keep the chicken off the bottom of the pan. If you don't have that, maybe use some aluminum foil, do some strips, place your chicken on top of that. The reason being is because if you place your chicken directly flat on the pan, on the your pan, the fluids, the liquids, it's gonna kind of rise up on the chicken a little bit. And that bottom part of the chicken is pretty much going to be boiling for the duration of the cook time. So you want to raise it up off the pan so that air can get underneath, so that it can cook the bottom underneath instead of boiling it. We're not trying to boil our chicken. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken, put it into our dressing, marinade, season, whatever you want to call it. Get a decent amount of that stuff above and below it. Set it on your pan. Now I've got 3. We're going to cook this for about 40 to 60 minutes. Time will vary depending on your oven, depending on the thickness of your chicken. So we're going to eyeball it towards the 40-minute mark. We're going to start eyeballing it. Now before you handle your chicken, wash your hands. We're going to cover this with a layer of aluminum foil. Just for the first 20 minutes or so. So the reason we cover our chicken with aluminum foil is because of the Apricot Preserves. It has a lot of sugar in it, and if we bake it in the oven at 350 for about 50 minutes, that sugar is going to burn off real fast and it's going to give it a burnt look. So we want to cover it up for about 20 minutes. Basically roughly a little under half the cooking time. What that's going to do is allow the chicken to cook thoroughly, and then it's going to prevent that sugar from burning. So once we remove the aluminum foil, we can go ahead and start letting that sugar burn due to the direct heat from the oven. And that'll be okay. It's going to give it kind of like a charred look at the end. In the meantime, I've got about 40-something, 50 minutes to kill. So I'm going to make some sides, which isn't a part of this video. I'm thinking some sort of rice and a simple salad. So I'll get back to you here in about 20 minutes. My time, not yours. 20 minutes have passed. Let's uncover our chicken. Now it doesn't look like I have enough marinade, whatever you want to call this, on it. So I'm just going to add a little bit more across the top of the chicken. Now I'm going to stick it back in there for about 30 minutes or so, give or take. I'm going to eyeball it as we get closer. Put it back in the oven, uncovered. When we come back, we'll be plating. So, about an hour has passed overall. Oh yeah. This looks good. Now don't worry about that burnt marinade, whatever you want to call it, underneath the chicken. That ain't on the chicken. That's underneath. That can wash off. But you see what I'm talking about? Like the char marks? That's exactly why you don't want to leave this uncovered throughout the entire duration of cooking, because then that would be all over the chicken. That'll make it look like it's burnt. But technically, all it is just a sugar from the preserves, the apricot preserves, that's kind of burned off. But this is good stuff. So for about 5 minutes of prep work, baked Russian chicken. Easy peasy. Great tasting. It's got an Asian flavor. So it's really, 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 really good. Try it. You won't regret it. In the meantime, cook. Don't be lazy.